A major car show in East Tennessee got shut down abruptly this past weekend, and it left thousands of attendees and locals asking the same question: what on earth happened? So today, we're going to dive into the official reports to really understand why this hugely popular event was stopped right in its tracks.
Right, so how does an event that draws these massive crowds, an event that's a staple on the calendar, just stop? Well, the story involves official warnings, late-night disturbances, and a pretty significant police response. We're going to walk through the timeline step by step, using only the official statements to piece together what really went down.
Okay, first, to really get the impact here, you have to understand the scale of this thing. This isn't just some small local meetup. The Slammedenuff car show is a huge, privately organized annual event. It's held at the Sevierville Convention Center, and believe me, it is a big deal in the car enthusiast community.
And its impact is felt across the entire region. I mean, think about it. For one weekend in October, thousands and thousands of people descend on this already popular tourist area. They're filling up hotels, restaurants, and, of course, the roads. And that massive scale, that's exactly why its sudden cancellation became such major news.
Now, what's really crucial to understand is that law enforcement was already on high alert before the event even kicked off. They were monitoring the situation, and they publicly stated their position days in advance. It was a clear signal they were getting ready for potential issues that might spill out from the main venue.
And this statement right here really highlights their main concern. They released it 2 days before the show, and you can see it specifically targets those unauthorized gatherings. The police were drawing a very clear line. You've got the official, ticketed car show, and then you have the unofficial street scene that often pops up around it. Their worry about public safety was out in the open before a single car showed up.
But despite those warnings, things definitely escalated on Saturday, the very first day of the show. The exact issues the police had cautioned against started to happen, creating a situation that officials quickly decided was just not sustainable. So, what exactly did the city say was the reason for taking such a drastic action?
And here it is. This is the crucial point. It wasn't just one single incident. The city of Sevierville's official statement points to a whole series of events happening all over. They weren't just disruptive. They were actually overwhelming the ability of local police and emergency services across the entire county.
So let's break down what those disturbances actually were. The city statement got into the specifics, talking about impacts on the community that ranged from traffic nightmares and late-night noise to just outright reckless behavior. Officials said these challenges had reached a level that was, and this is their quote, no longer acceptable or sustainable. So all of that led to the big decision on the morning of Sunday, October 5th. The city, working together with the event organizers, officially pulled the plug on day 2, the final day of the Slammedenuff car show.
And this was the core reason the city gave. They framed the cancellation not as some kind of punishment, but as a necessary step to do their job, to protect the entire community. That means the residents who live there, the tourists visiting, and all the local businesses.
The cancellation also came with an immediate policy shift. The city declared a zero-tolerance stance. It was a crystal-clear message that any more disruptions would be met with the full force of the law. They also strongly urged anyone in town for the event to leave in an orderly and lawful manner.
But even with the show officially canceled, the situation wasn't quite over. With the convention center closed, a large crowd just gathered somewhere else, which led to another big law enforcement response on Saturday night, this time in the neighboring town of Pigeon Forge. Yeah, according to the Pigeon Forge police chief, a large group ended up at a local business called Jimmy's Market. The owner actually asked for help to clear the lot. Police were already in the area because of all the calls they'd been getting, and the response was massive. We're talking officers from Sevierville, Gatlinburg, county sheriff's departments, and even the Tennessee Highway Patrol.
And as you can imagine, after an incident like that, rumors started swirling all over the internet. So the police chief came out and directly addressed them, stating very clearly that no tear gas was not used, and what some people thought were gunshots were actually just cars backfiring. It was a really important clarification coming straight from the authorities who were on the scene.
Which brings us back to the city's official position, reinforcing that zero-tolerance policy. This quote really underscores just how serious the situation was from their perspective. It wasn't just another warning, it was a definitive statement that the way things were unfolding outside the main venue absolutely had to change.
At the same time, the event organizers, Slammedenuff, they released their own statement.
And while they condemned all the disruptive actions, they made a really key distinction. They said there was no direct proof that the people causing all the problems were actually registered attendees of their specific show. And this really highlights the challenge of managing the behavior of everyone who comes to town for a big event, not just the people who bought a ticket.
And that leaves us with a critical question moving forward. City officials have already said they're going to reevaluate the future viability of this event at their convention center. This whole incident has set a new precedent, and it raises a much larger question for communities everywhere. How do you balance the economic boost from these major events with the absolute necessity of keeping the public safe?